Hey, you guys, Erin here, dropping in to give you this week's astrological update. And of course, all the hype in astrology right now is the fact that almost everything is in retrograde. What we've got going on here currently is we've got Mercury in retrograde, we've got Venus in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde, Uranus in retrograde, Neptune in retrograde, Pluto in retrograde, Chiron in retrograde, and Jupiter just about to go retrograde. Interestingly, what's going to happen here on September 3rd, Venus will go stationary, so her retrograde will be over. But the day after that, September 4th, Jupiter begins his retrograde. Okay, now, first of all, it's actually not that uncommon that we will experience this many retrogrades at one time. And part of the reason it's such a big deal, let me explain it to you this way. When something goes retrograde, it's usually not that big of a deal unless it's specifically hitting something in your natal chart. And when we have this many retrogrades going on, chances are it's triggering something in your natal chart. Okay. Now, as an example here, since Mercury tends to be the one that retrogrades the most, and that's, a lot of people talk about Mercury retrogrades. So let's talk about this. So first of all, what Mercury influences is basically our nervous system. Okay. Mercury is considered the messenger of the gods. Basically, we are constantly receiving information. Okay. Whether you're just walking through a grocery store or talking on the phone or reading a book, having a conversation, looking at social media, whatever it is you are doing, you're receiving information. And that information is being brought into your conscious awareness through Mercury. That's Mercury's job, okay? Like basically being the messenger of the gods, Mercury takes in that information, puts a little file on it, puts a label on that file, puts it away somewhere into our conscious awareness. And then when we want to communicate that information, Mercury's got to go in and find that file and bring it back out for us. Okay, that's why he's the messenger of the gods. Mercury is a huge influence, not just on our communication skills, but really over our entire nervous system and our mental function. So when Mercury goes retrograde, that's why a lot of people say, oh, don't have your business meeting when Mercury's in retrograde. Well, because obviously when Mercury's moving backwards, those parts of us are not going to be functioning so optimally, but especially and most specifically, if it's hitting something in your natal chart. And as an example here, especially if you got something prominent in between the degrees of 8 to 21 degrees Virgo, that's Mercury's retrograde points this time around. Okay, so basically what's happening here is Mercury has been going through the sign of Virgo, went all the way up to 21 degrees Virgo, and then it's going to go all the way back to 8 degrees Virgo, and then move forward again. So let's say especially if you got your sun, your moon, or your rising sign between those degrees, between 8 and 21 degrees Virgo, then Mercury is definitely triggering that area of your natal chart. As an example, let's say you've got your natal moon at 10 degrees Virgo. Then what's happening here is Mercury came along, he went over your natal moon. Now in astrology, the moon, she rules our emotions. The moon in your natal chart is going to say a lot about how you process your emotions or emotional situations, can also have ties to mother, can also have a lot to do with our moods. Okay, so if Mercury went over your 10-degree Virgo moon, all of a sudden your nervous system is hitting your emotions, just as an example here. Then Mercury has to retrograde back over your moon. It's time to reevaluate those emotions, whatever it is. Again, if we're specifically talking about your moon here, then we're talking about either your emotions, your ability to receive, okay, being receptive, or your moods, or something linked to some kind of motherly energy, can also be applied to home. Okay, now we reevaluate what's going on, anything that's tied to that moon energy as Mercury retrogrades over our moon. Then Mercury moves forward again, and that's the real healing that comes with this. Okay, we're basically provided an opportunity to rethink or reevaluate the situation. Okay, now again, with this many retrogrades going on, more than likely something in your natal chart, whether it be your sun, your moon, your rising, your own natal Mercury, your own natal Jupiter, your own natal Venus, something more than likely in your chart is getting triggered. and is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate the situation depending on where it lands in your natal chart, the sign and the house that are being triggered in your natal chart. How do we do that? Well, we figured that out through an astrology reading. So if you'd like to schedule an astrology reading with me, you can schedule straight to the East West website, which is eastwestbooks.org. When you go to that website, you will see a little link on top that says Readers and Healers. If you click there, it's very self-explanatory, and you'll see how to schedule a reading not only with myself, but all the wonderful readers and healers that East West has to offer. Okay, guys, I do hope to hear from some of you, and until next time, namaste to all of you.